All right. So, so if you are listening on AsgardRadio.com or you are watching on Twitch with erock7420, we are going to be interviewing from across the pond, all the way in the UK, Rage Breed, and we're going to be talking to him. I mean, she's more than Rage Breed, okay? She is a lot. Karina is Rage Breed. She's in a band. She does all kinds of stuff. So I want everybody to pay attention. I want everybody to have a good time. If you have any questions for anybody at any time, please let us know, and we will get them on there. So without further poo poo, let's get it on. All right. So here we go. We are going to start out. We got a shit ton of people here today. We have myself. We have E-Rock. We got Johnny Chadwick.
What's up?
We have Alicia Robertson.
Actually, that's Michael, bless him.
He says his name is Michael, but we're not sure. Okay. All right. We have Jimmy, we have Karina, and of course Chronic Chris on Throwback Thursday. Now we will be playing Throwback Thursday after the interview, but we have to get this interview in because uh, we need to interview Karina and find out more about Rage Breed. They have been supporting Asgard Radio. They have been sending us a lot of bands, and they have been just doing a lot of stuff for us across the pond on the island there. So please, if you have anything you want to ask, uh, shoot a question either to um, E-Rock on his Twitter, not Twitter.
What the fuck? You haven't had enough alcohol. You better start fucking drinking, asshat.
But yeah, just send me a question. So here we go. This is with Karina, uh, and Mike and Jimmy on Asgard Radio, and you can watch this on Twitch with Erex7420. All right. So Karina,
Yes.
you are. Let's start with Rage Breed because you sent me a lot of bands. You have
Hmm.
sent me a lot of a lot of information from you guys.
Hmm.
Um, you guys are pretty new, aren't you?
Well, in terms of label, yes. We have been around since 1996. So we started off as promotions. So we got into sort of like gigs and things like that, working with venues. We then put on tours for Candlelight Record Bands. So we put the first tour on for Insomnium, Omnium Gathering, bands like that. And then we did an all-dayer with Napalm Death in Camden Coco. So basically, our build it kind of was a build-up from '96, doing various festivals, indoor club nights, all that kind of thing. Then I got into the media side of things and started interviewing bands. Then COVID struck, so obviously as a promoter, we couldn't put on Rage Fest, which was a UK festival we put on in England, because obviously the COVID thing. So we branched out into radio. We decided to do magazine, and we decided to do the label. Get involved in all aspects of music business basically. So, um, yeah, I mean, initially we were signed. Mindlapse, my band, was initially signed with Heady and That Records, um, but I kind of wanted to make it my own, if that makes sense. So I basically released everything on Rage Breed Records, and then I decided I wanted to help some of the great bands, because there were so many amazing bands I was listening to, and I thought, you know what? Yes, it's important for my own growth, but it's also important for the growth of other people. And that's always been a key thing for me. I always believe with two hands, one for self, one for others. And I saw some real good talent with Rough and Rude, Incognito Theory, Self Imposed Exile, and it's like throughout the year, throughout the last 2 years, it's just been amazing seeing these bands, go from strength to strength. It's like even with
Yes.
Mindlapse, we've had 12 weeks at number one in the UK at N1M, so that's been a real, great thing. for being quite a new label, it was really good because we won the awards for SME Awards, which is a Midlands Metal Enterprise Award. So even though we're fairly new, I think we've, jumped leaps and bounds in that sense because we've kind of brought the bands on. We've, really tried to promote hard with them. We brought in Metal Devastation PR, so they're working on behalf of our band for the PR side as well. Couple that with the contacts that I've got as well, obviously linking to you, which is great. And we just literally got a great team over at Rage Breed. We've got Rage Breed Warriors, we call them Rage Breed Girls. So, and what they do is they're kind of like an online team that have their own group of pages, and they plug the bands through there. So we're always trying to help the bands grow, but also help the brands as well. We just believe it should be like a family unit, and we all rise together.
And, yes, and I started Asgard in 2010
Mm-hmm.
to help the bands in Chicago, and then all
Sure.
of a sudden I got a band from like uh, the very first international band I got was from Australia, and
Sure.
then I got a band from the UK, and then from Sweden, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what
Yeah.
to do. I really I didn't know what to do because I
Yeah.
didn't think it was going to do it, take off like this. But so I went back to school and got my master's in international management, and I learned, different
Mm-hmm.
rules and regulations and laws and everything. So
That's
uh,
amazing. Yeah.
and that and when you started sending me, hey, we have these bands, we want you to check them out, we play them, and I'm like, hell yeah, I work with any label, especially ones that are trying to help bands succeed, and trying to help promote the smaller bands. So when you started sending me people, I'm like, oh, we're gonna interview anybody you want me to. I don't give a damn. So
Oh,
we
thank you.
we just got to get we just got to get the times down because I know you're being in another country.
Yeah.
Let's see, what is it? 10 after 5
Yeah.
here, so it's like what, 11 o'clock there.
Yeah. And it's crazy because it's like, when we get a lot of interviews from America as well. So it can be like sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm doing an interview. It's really
Or two
funny
o'clock
because
my time.
yeah, and Johnny's only one hour ahead. But it's really funny when we're trying to, when we have our group chats for the Rage Breed team and stuff.
But that's
People,
okay.
yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I
Oh,
don't
you
need to
are.
sleep, man. I don't need to sleep, bro.
No cake for me, love. This is fine. Lots of coffee as well.
I do want to give a shout out. I'm Johnny Chadwick from Ruffle Root. I do want to give a shout out to Karina and all the people at Rage Breed. Is one of the best in the business. So fair, so beautiful. You know what I mean? They treat the bands with respect, and they're not pulling money out of their ass, because us musicians, we don't have that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm, mm.
But I do, if I may jump in, I do have a question. Tell me more about Mindlapse.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, Mindlapse, we started in 1996. I got signed very young. I think I was 16 at the time.
Oh shit.
Helena Records basically listened to one of my demo tapes. I just sent a load off. I didn't think anything would happen with it. And then I got a phone call at 16 years old, and he says, "This is really good. We want you to come down for a meeting." So we went down, and I'm all excited because I'm thinking, "Oh, record company, really like stuff." And yeah, we got signed, and we basically at the time we were releasing singles, but our sound, if you listen to the early Mindlap stuff through to now, you will see such a difference of subgenres within our music. So we started off like kind of like a gothic metal sort of vibe. Then we went into sort of a kind of, I guess you could say, cross typo negative with Machine Head. It was that kind of vibe. It was like a bit of Cheers Satana, Manhole, My Ruin thrown in. So during the 1999 periods through to 2001, we were kind of doing a bit of that sort of stuff, biohazard kind of stuff. But then 2002, I think we really started working on our sound, which was kind of progressive, death metal, that kind of stuff. We got 4Ks in Kerrang, we got featured in Malhammer, we were total rock approved. So then we went on tour with a few bands. We did the End of the Earth tour with Cancer, Insomnium, and then we played quite a few shows like with Skin Dread, Kill to This. So, but it wasn't until 2005 when we started to do the proper death metal stuff. So Jimmy, for example, has come on board. We're going to go more towards the melodic death metal, kind of vibe, because that's kind of like what we enjoy and what we're listening to. So Mindlapse has had, a really solid history in that sense. We've played quite big venues. We've played, been on a tour bus, 16-berth tour bus with Insomnium, which was absolutely awesome. Really enjoyed that. That has to be one of my favourite memories, was to be on tour with those guys, because they were so good live, and Mindlapse drew a lot of experience from that, because I think watching them helped us improve our stage presence and things like that. Just looking at how it's done. Um, so yeah, I mean, then obviously I released a discography album with everything we've done called Forgotten Memories of Past Lives. And then we had a break for a while because unfortunately our bass player died.
Mm.
So that was really, really hard. And I didn't know whether to bring Mindlapse back because it felt weird without him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then I know what he was like. He always used to say to me that I had a talent, and he had his daughter called Gaia, and he said he's taught her how to play guitar. And he always wanted us to, get somewhere, I suppose. So I thought, well, I'm going to do it for him as well as myself, because Mindlapse is true to my heart, but it was also true to his. He was like my gothic metal brother, if you like. Um, and then I remember having a conversation with Jimmy in 2020. And Jimmy, honestly, guys,
Jimmy's your guitarist, right?
yeah, Jimmy's the guitarist.
One of them.
And one of them, yeah, Michael. But he's come up with some incredible riffs for the new album. I mean, we're all collectively writing, and the new stuff is sounding awesome. I mean, Haunted got #1 on N1M for 12 weeks now, so that's really going well. We
That
had
is a
like,
badass song.
yeah, so it's over 5.5
I learned it.
views. Did you? Amazing, amazing. But yeah,
So,
like I say, it's just what I love about Mindlapse. It's been a solid part of my history through to current, and I mean, Jimmy, the writing he's coming up with is just phenomenal, and so is Michael. I mean, Michael's coming up with amazing riffs, and then I've got about 4 or 5 songs I've already done as well. So collectively, I think we should have an album sorted pretty soon. It's just finding a bass player and drummer we're looking for at the moment. But at the minute, we're just writing ourselves. So.
so Jimmy, you come up with these riffs, you come up with all this stuff. Um, what is your background? I mean, I know when you start playing guitar, it's usually at an earlier age. When did you start playing, and how did you get involved with Karina and the band?
Well, I started playing when I was 15, which was 1990, technically. And I started out as a bass player. And, at that time, I was basically emulating what Steve Harris, Cliff Burton, and Geezer Butler were doing on a bass. And then I decided I wanted to write my own stuff, so I started learning guitar. And a couple years passed, and, basically I was playing along to Merciful Fate, Candlemass, Iron Maiden, Obituary, Slayer, Dark Angel, Metallica, all
Damn,
that
you
stuff.
you ain't fucking around.
I know.
You're right into that shit, man. You're not like playing simple shit. You're right into that fucking insane
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Candlemass kicks ass anyway.
Oh, yeah.
What a great dude, man.
We toured with
Candlemass
them.
for
So
me
cool,
was like
dude.
a great starting tool because, like, where the songs were all slow, it was so cool to pick up all those chords, the chord progressions, and all the
Yeah,
melody
yeah,
stuff. It was all dark. And
yeah.
so they're still a major part of, what I do. I mean, by 1993, I rediscovered Yngwie Malmsteen, and I started, basically just totally nerding out on shred guitar stuff. And that by that point, of course, they, in America, metal was declared dead because of grunge, and I didn't care. So I kept playing. I basically locked myself in a room every day and just tried to emulate what Yngwie, George Lynch, Eddie Van Halen, and so many others, Tony McAlpine, all these guitars. And fast forward even further, I mean, I started my own power metal band called Dark Fantasy in 2000, and did that with my brother and a guy named Jared Leach for a few years, and then we stopped. And since I've actually picked the name back up, and I started releasing instrumental solo records in 2005, just to stay active. Fast forward even further, I've released, let's see, I'm For Real, The Intimidator, Majestic Nightmares, Reflections, and I did a single called, what was it? What was the single? I have to go look. I can't remember.
You're fired. That's it. You're out.
Yeah. So anyway, no, it was Freedom's Calling was the name of it, actually. And so, over time, I've been fortunate when I was doing just solo stuff, I would occasionally throw in a singer. I did work with Ralph Sheepers from Primal Fear.
Nice.
And we did a song called The Dawn of Revolution. And I've also worked with my brother. I worked with Adrienne Cohen, who's in Seven Spires, and she's also in Masters of Ceremonies now, and she's in Advantasia. And then we fast forward even further, 2020, I'd met Karina, was doing some work for Ragebreed for a little bit, doing interviews and stuff. And she had mentioned her band Mindlapse, and I started checking it out. I was like, this is really fucking cool, because it reminded me of, it was kind of Arch Enemy-ish in a way. It had the Carcass vibe. It was just more European death metal sort of. And I thought it was really cool.
Carcass Vest now.
And she asked me, she said, would you be interested in joining? And I thought, yeah, that'd be really cool, because I've been doing power metal, traditional metal, and neoclassical metal for so long. I always loved early death metal, and I loved European death metal, through the 90s. I was a radio DJ for 5 years at WMUL in Huntington, West Virginia. And I was exposed to every single metal band that was coming up in the underground at that time. And so, yeah, I mean, my heavy metal music DNA is pretty wide. There's a lot there. I mean, all the major genres of metal, new wave of British heavy metal, thrash, death metal, crossover, hardcore, black metal, particularly Norwegian black metal, Swedish and Tampa Bay death metal, and then of course European power metal, Stratovarius and Halloween and Blind Guardian and all that great stuff. I mean, so there's so much.
Karina being in the UK and you being in the States, how do you guys collaborate?
We just discuss ideas usually through Messenger, and then we'll do WhatsApp calls or we'll do Messenger calls and sit down and discuss stuff. And I have Reaper on my S4 home studio. I was actually working on a track earlier, believe it or not. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but that's what Reaper looks like.
Right.
Oh yeah, yep. I'm familiar with that.
I've got a Zoom G21 effects processor that's basically an amp simulator. My amp simulation is a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier. And I've got a Presonus interface audio box. So what I do is, start jamming an idea out. For drums, I'm using Beta Monkey Double Bass Mania loops, and I just build drum sequences so that I have something to go to. And right in the past month and a half, I've written three full ideas pretty much. One of the ideas, Mike, actually, is Mike, are you still there, dude? Are you still alive?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Are you still there? Oh,
right.
No, we fired him and threw him off. He's out.
Yeah, it was the fucking name thing, man.
Yeah. We didn't know if we had a Bruce Jenner thing going on here or what, so we were like, no, you're out.
Yeah, Mike and we're co-writing one of the tracks. It was the second idea I'd come up with, and I was like, this is cool, but it needs more. So I sent it over to him. I said, dude, what can you do to this? And he's been working on that. I lucked out on the first one. It's going to be called The Truth Untold. And Karina was like, "This is fucking awesome. Just put that ending in right there, and that's it." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then this past Sunday, I wrote another new one too, which has more of an monomarth vibe, I guess is the best way to say it. It's got that Scandinavian death metal feel to it, as opposed to the other stuff's more Tampa Bay. And even the new one I'm doing today was more Tampa Bay with a bit of doom thrown in. So there's a lot there. It's fun.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear it.
It's really cool because when we first started writing stuff, when Michael first came on board, and what he used to do is record like videos of himself recording stuff, and sometimes that's what Jimmy does as well. With mine, I just showed I think what did he call it? I can't remember now. But basically, it's like a blackened death metal track. So we're even going to go for a little bit more darker with some of the songs, because we wanted to keep the album quite interesting. So I think
you're so evil. You witch.
See how you are. No, but like the thing is, the reason why we're doing it sort of like that way is because there's an actual concept project behind the actual album itself. So it's basically this druidess who goes into hell and she meets loads of different spirits who have been in hell. So they've got their own story. So it's a really it's going to work with my other project called Lake of Dreams. And that one's a little bit more pagan folk, a little bit more chilled. It's kind of a little bit like cross between Wardruna, Anathema, that kind of stuff. But then you've got Mindlapse, which is like full-on brutal death metal, So we wanted the contrast. So it's when she goes to hell, she sees a tree and she thinks they're flowers, and she goes up close and they're actually unborn embryos. So it's going to be very dark. It's not going to be.
My nipples just got hard.
It's not for the faint-hearted. It's going to be quite horrific.
I'm telling you, hey,
don't think I'm allowed to do that on here. So.
We can hang a jacket up on my nipples.
All right, let's go to Alicia or Michael.
Michael.
So, Mike, how did you get involved with a intercontinental band with Karina?
Jimmy, actually. Jimmy and I have known each other for a while now, and I just got a random message one day. It's like, "Hey, dude, you want to be in like a death metal band?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's get there." That was pretty much it, man.
I like that. He's simple, straight to the point. Everybody else was going through a series. He's like, "Fuck yeah." Story's done.
That literally was like how it was, isn't it?
So how do you feel about collaborating again across the pond? I mean, I know it sometimes could be difficult because you got to wait for, one riff to go to, somebody else, and then the bass, and then the drums, and then I know it could be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, like, like work schedules, families, the whole fucking nine plays a huge part in it, man. But like, I don't find it difficult to do something that I love to do. You know what I mean? Like, so like, yeah, sure, I may lag here and there on like responding to text or whatnot, but I'm always ready to go. And at some point, I make time to make shit happen. Like, if I get like if I've had a long day, I come home and I hang out with the Rugrats and shit, at least an hour out of my evening will be dedicated to playing guitar at some point. So it's just important, man. Like, I mean, if you don't love it, don't even fucking bother.
Yep.
Exactly. You gotta love the music.
I mean, I'm sitting here with my guitar right now, jamming.
Oh, dude, my guitar is fucking awesome. He did this unboxing video for this guitar. It's a signature series.
And I tell everybody, I have no talent whatsoever. All right, I can't play an instrument. I can't sing. I can't do shit.
Oh, come on. You told me you play the flute.
No, I do. I play skin flute. All right. All right. But anyway, sorry, bro.
Clip that.
my cousin was in a band in the early 90s, and now he is the head, what's called AV guy at the, what is it, the, Jesus Christ, in Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming Event Center. So it kind of runs with our family. He does all the audio for every band, Judas Priest, whoever comes through there, he does that. And I do this because I love music. And when I albums and people will say, "Hey, will you give us, your opinion on an album?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll give you my opinion, but if you want a pat on the back, call your mom. I'm not gonna I'm gonna tell you exactly what I hear and what I think you can improve on." And always my favorite album is a band's sophomore album, because I think that's when they should be in sync. They should have all their people in together, and everything should be good. Their first albums are always a little rough. They're always a little kind of let's tweak this, let's do this. But their sophomore album, that should be their step up, and that's what I expect. So when I ask labels or managers, when they say, "Hey, this is their sophomore album," I'm like, "Are you sure you really want to give it to me?"
Got a bunch of people in the comments here. Chronic Chris here plays a mad gazoo.
Yeah.
Does he?
But I just think,
Sorry, Chris.
if you're together, like Karina was saying, since '96, if this is the same band since '96, and we're in almost in 2022, y'all should be cohesive and together by now. And and if you send me, an album and say, "Hey, what do you think?" Man, I'm gonna tell you. Because I have an ear for. I love music. I love listening. I mean, I can listen to anything from Frank Sinatra, from Motown, because I grew up. I literally grew up on Motown. My mother loved Motown, and that's all she ever. To what I liked was my first album was Kiss Rock and Roll Over, and then I got Ozzy Osbourne, and then my mother bought me Billy Joel Glass Houses. And I'm like, all right, that's a good fucking album. Glass House is a great fucking album. And so I've learned to enjoy music for what it is. And I will never degrade an artist for what they do. I'll tell you, hey, look, this drum, this bass, they really don't go together. The lead guitar and the rhythm guitar.
Sure, your opinion, yeah.
But for what you guys do, I will never degrade you. I will never say, "Oh, you suck." No, hell no. How can I tell you you suck when I can't fucking do what you do. The only talent I have is the bullshit. That's it. That's all.
You gotta start somewhere.
You're a good presenter, though.
You know what I mean?
I can talk all day, and I can talk to people all day and ask questions, but I got nothing else. So, what you guys
sounds
do,
like my dad. You can't bullshit the bullshitter.
Yeah, exactly. But the years you put into your craft is phenomenal. Guitars, bass, drums, vocals. I mean, you guys are just phenomenal. So, I would love to know. Unfortunately, I wish I could get over to Europe and interview. Just spend a month over there and do interviews every day, because there's a lot of bands in the UK. There really is, and from every.
Yeah.
Germany too.
Yes, Germany too.
So we can send bands your way. I mean, like we're all. I mean, my emails, I mean, I'm not kidding you. My inbox is packed full. And I'm thinking, I'm not gonna have time to interview all of these, you know. So if there's any that you want me to send over, I'll be happy
Hey,
to do that.
I'm already packed. Let's go.
You're
Fuck
in
that
Germany.
shit.
So, Karina, how did you find Mike and Jimmy for your band? How did that come together when you're not even in the same country?
Well, Jimmy is working for Rage Breed as a media account sales manager. So he does we actually met through Facebook, and he basically came on board as, you know, the Metal Knights of the Round Table. So he deals with a power metal show. So it's radio, it's a section in Rage Breed magazine. So that's how we actually met, was actually to do with, you know, the magazine side of things. It was to do with Rage Breed. And then he started, you know, he said, oh, you know, I'm in a band and I listen to some of this stuff. I was like, this dude's fucking talented, man. You know, I remember thinking, wow, that's really good stuff. And then I found out later he's into heavier stuff as well, you know, and I think we just naturally became really good friends over the years and stuff. And then I think it was towards the end of 2020, I think that's when we had a proper discussion, wasn't it, Jimmy? And then we said,
Yeah,
shall we, you know, give this a go? Did you want
yeah,
to do
because
that?
I made the suggestion, let's, you know, we should redo the prophecy and the haunted, and then
That's right.
kind
Yeah,
of split from there. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. And
So we should
then
redo it with the lineup that we're gonna have, because it'll sound
yeah,
even cooler.
it's sounding so good. And you know, when he sent me the Truth Untold, the actual music side of it, when I heard it, I was blown away. And then I literally could capture an image in my mind of what I wanted it to be about, and literally started writing down the lyrics, and got my vocals. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a great what's it called, vocal mic at the minute. Well, I just need to plug it all in. But I mean, I've got my vocals down to a guttural death metal level, which I'm happy with, which is good. So I've got the low end and the high end going there. So I'm going to be doing a contrast of both.
So where did Mike come in? How did you get Mike?
And then Mike happened because I spoke to Jimmy and said, right, we can't just have me and you in the band. We need a second guitarist, because obviously we're going to harmonize stuff, and you know. And he said, I might know someone. And then he talked to Mike, and then I had a look at Mike's profile. I remember looking at, and he was in a band called Saprogen, and you know, I checked it all out, and he was really good, and I was like, this is cool. And so then I think we had a group chat online, didn't we? And then we had a, right, get this is really funny. We were going to do our first meet and greets, and we tried to do it through Zoom. And we got quite drunk online, and well, it was really funny. We were like, we had a great time, because it was the first time we actually all were together in one sort of Zoom meeting, you know.
I
But
was
what we
stoked
didn't
about mine
see,
too.
but it didn't record. So we were really gutted. We were like, no, we've lost our first, you know, meeting. But you know what, it was such a good night, because I got to sort of hear what their influences were, what they enjoyed, you know, like Death and Obituary. We're talking about all those bands, and you know, it was a really good night actually. So it was like, right, we have to do this again. So you know, but yeah, it was like I say, I mean, we all get on. We're all really, you know, chilled people, and we kind of we're all very excited about writing music, and we've all got a vision to how it's going to be. And you know, it's really about having the vision first, but bringing the action in to get it done. You know, so we are being a lot more proactive in this part of the year to get that first single out there, and then obviously we're going to be recording the album. We're hoping that we should get it down for this year.
So how? Look, all right. So touring and doing shows. How are you going to do that?
So I'm going to try and get all the band members to be, well, I'm trying to get all my, I've told the others to try and find bass players and drummers in Ohio or West Virginia area. And they're
I
the
was
only
thinking
person that
maybe you
needs
do
to.
like gorillas and all like animated cartoons on various screens playing instruments.
I think we'd enjoy the live buzz of it too much, you know. But I'm going to be coming over to America next year. There's actually a few plans in the making. I am thinking about buying a house over there at some point. So what I'm going to do is 6 months over, and well, we'll see what happens. I've still got to, because I've just got a new job now. So I'm going to be saving up to come over to America next year. So when I go down there, I'll probably be taking a block 2 weeks, and then we can maybe practice for about, probably do like a big intense practice thing for a few weeks, you know, and then go on tour.
Naturally, that's going to be after Rough and Roots tour in England.
Oh yeah, obviously. Don't worry, I've not forgotten about you, Johnny.
All right, so
you're such.
how are you gonna split your time between Rage Breed and the band? How are you gonna do that?
Well, it's that's why I've got a team of people. I'm basically training everyone at the moment. So because I go back to work on Monday, we've all got our little projects to do, and we get it done within that certain time frame. So it's about training, really. It's about training people who want to progress within the company and making sure things get done. The only thing that is taking a long time is designing, because I'm the main graphic designer. So what happens is when we have the magazine, there's so much work in it. So obviously when we make sales of the magazine, I've got to design it into the page. So you imagine I did a 144-page magazine for issue 1, and that took so much time. So that's the only, I think I'm going to have to bring on another designer to help me with that. So that's the only thing I'm slightly worried about. With everything else, we've got Metal Devastation PR. We've got a team of people with our Rage Breed Gals and Rage Breed Warriors that are going to be promoting the bands on the internet as well. So we've put things in place. So, I mean, Steve, a guy who used to work with Terrorizer magazine, he's one of my media account sales managers. He's even said, when you go on tour, I'll handle it here. So I says, well, I'll train you up before that anyway. So he's happy with that. So we've already got plans in place if that was to happen. So, you know, we're quite lucky because we've got about 40 people in our team. So, you know, and they're all very, you know, we're very close. I mean, we've got our group chat and we're always in there and talking and trying to find ways to, you know, promote, and they all like and share posts, and they, you know, invite people to their pages and stuff. And, you know, there is a bit of training that I've got to do from now until Sunday because we've got some newbies. Well, I'm just in the middle of doing their cover picks, but in terms of, I'm not worried about that because no matter where I am in any country, I've got my phone with me, so I can reply to emails. I've got, you know, access to everything I do pretty much. The only thing, like I say, would be graphic design, but if I take a laptop with me, you know, the times when I'm not busy, I can just crack on with it. So
okay, so
yeah.
let's start with Jimmy. I want to get some background on you. When did you start thinking you wanted to pick up an instrument? What made you want to do some sort of musical talent and be an artist like that?
Well, I grew up on rock and roll, heavy metal, and classical and blues music from my mom and my dad. And, you know, first Judas Priest record I heard, I was 4. Right after Unleashed in the East was released, my dad had it on vinyl and played that around me. And I just remember hearing that and going, wow, what's that? And, you know, looking at the cover, seeing Rob Halford and KK Downing and Glenn Tipton and Ian Hill on that stage with the smoke and the lights. I was like, God, I really want to do that. And I used to, when I was a little kid, I actually had a little Mickey Mouse guitar that I would act like I was warming up to and everything when I was little. And I remember my parents would always play Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, there you go.
And at the end, you know, keep in mind, I'm a 3-4-year-old kid who's like totally wigging out on, you know, this guitar. And I did the whole thing where I smashed the guitar. I remember, and mom and dad did the whole thing where I smashed it. And, you know, as the years went on, I was just always surrounded by music. I was surrounded by, you know, metal, hard rock, and, you know, classical and blues. And when I was 9, I told my dad that I wanted to be a bass player because I saw the world premiere for Aces High by Iron Maiden on MTV the night it actually aired. And I became an Iron Maiden fan. And I loved everything about what Steve Harris did. The fact that his fingers would just like, like this the whole time. I've never seen a bass player just constantly doing that. And so I had to learn how to do it, and I did, and then guitar, of course, became a thing later, but I was always into anybody who could shred and rip and just, just be larger than life. And being the big Iron Maiden fan I am, they are larger than life in a lot of ways, but they're also very humble people. I was fortunate to have met Bruce twice in 96 and 97. I've met Adrian Smith, and I even interviewed Steve Harris once back in my radio days on the phone. But I always knew that's what I wanted to do. I grew my hair out at a very early age, and, took on the whole heavy metal image and everything, really, really fun. Of course, high school, that definitely didn't score me any points with anybody because everybody thought I was the weird dude. That's all part of your adolescence, I guess. But the good thing is by the time I was 15, 16 years old, I knew what the fuck I wanted to do. So, I just kept going. And I've actually got cassette tapes where I used to do Jambox recordings of riffs. I've still got them to this day. So I've literally got 27, 28 years worth of riffs that if I want to pull from my library, I can. I've still got everything. Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. So, all right, Mike, same question. What made you get into music, and what inspired you to pick up an instrument?
Well, my mom at a very young age had me listening to late 60s, 70s, and 80s rock and metal and things of that nature. And when I was 7 years old, 7 or 8, give or take, whatever, my dad gave me GNR Appetite for Destruction. And that was it. I was like, I listened to that first track and I ran out to my dad's garage. I was like, Dad, I want a guitar. Like, true story. And he says, you'll never play it. But that Christmas, he got me my first guitar, and he was right. I didn't play it. And then I heard, I heard like Metallica and Slayer and shit like that. But what sealed the deal was when I heard Megadeth, Rust in Peace. I was like, this is it. This is fucking it. And so that's what made me really hunker down and start playing that album. And then I discovered Death, and that was mind blown, And
It was a great band, yeah.
And then like Jimmy, man, Iron Maiden and all those awesome old school bands, dude. Fucking, I could tell you right now that back in the day it was Iron Maiden, Megadeth, Slayer, and then 2 minutes from now I'd probably be like, oh wait a minute, it was these ones too. So, but growing up, man, that's all I did was just play guitar. And I'll tell you one thing: the Motley Crue video, girls fucking lied to me, because that's what I thought was going to happen when I got older.
It actually can if you go to the right spots. I mean, you might have to go see your doctor when you're done, but still, it can happen.
I think where I'm from, I was better off without it. So
it's okay, Mike. I live that life for you.
Motley
already did it.
Motley Crue was my first concert. Autograph opened up for Motley Crue in '84. That was my first concert.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
You guys are kids.
Yeah, they are. Kids. I'm fucking old.
Children.
And,
I feel like
so many fucking weird bands just to play music growing up, man. Because trying to find I had buddies that played metal or stuff like what they consider metal, and it just wasn't what I was looking for. Because at the time, all that new metal stuff was coming out, and I was like, yeah, it's cool and all, but where's the 1,000 guitar notes, man? Where's that guitar solo? Where's the harmony shit?
Yeah.
And I played in country cover bands when I was 18 to 20 just to play something that had a little bit more intricate levels of guitar playing to it and shit. And then I finally met this drummer, and he and I formed Saperton, and that's when I got to really like bring out my death and thrash influences and all that shit. Like hard hitting Creator fan too, man. But
Creator.
Testament.
You can't be a bit of Testament. Tell you that now. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because when you look at sort of like when you're growing up and how many different like different types of bands you listen to on the way. I mean, like you're talking about country and stuff. It's like with me, it was like pagan folk. I really liked the ambience of that. I really liked stuff like Wardruna, and all that sort of stuff as well. And yet I could listen to something like that and then listen to something like Suffocation, or Cannibal Corpse.
I'm not going to lie to you at all. I still have the biggest heart on for 80s hair metal. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Yeah, you can't be a bit of Rat, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the 80s.
I love hearing people say that. Mike, I'm just going to assume you're younger than me. I'm just going to say that. And it's great to hear you say, no matter what, back in the 80s, the hair metal, to me, the 80s did it, man. That's what got everything started, the insanity with music all around. The guitar techniques were pretty fucking insane. A lot of great guitar players, a lot of great bands, bass players, drummers. They came out in the 80s. Like, it really busted loose in the 80s.
Right.
And then you ran into grunge rock and...
Well, don't forget, one of the first metal bands was Led Zeppelin. That kicked ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
wore this one just for E-Rock today.
What did you say? What'd you say?
I said I wore this one just for E-Rock today.
Bro, you rock.
I gotta tell you about that. We have a donation thing going because we're trying to do our inaugural Asgard Music Awards, and it has to do with national bands and international bands. And E-Rock and I both agreed, if we raise $1,000, I'll wear a shit-looking Nirvana shirt because I can't fucking stand Nirvana, and he has to wear Led Zeppelin. If we raise $5,000,
you're wearing a tutu.
I have to sing Nirvana. He's got.
I want to see a thong on your ass.
No, wait, you're gonna get. Hold on.
We're getting there.
$5,000. I have to sing Teen Spirit. He has to sing The Police, and Chris has. What did you say you could sing?
Leaf Garrett.
Leaf Garrett.
But he's singing it wearing a tutu.
For $10,000, I will get the smiley face Nirvana tattooed on my ass.
No, really?
Don't do that, man.
I don't mind Nirvana, but if someone hates Nirvana, that'd be really funny to do.
Hey, I'll do anything to. This is an award show to help up and coming bands. So you know what? I can get this shit covered up. It's not that big. But yeah, that is our deal. So, and I keep joking with them. I'm like, you know what? No one has yet. So I'm not worried about it, right? Because we have to have this money within the next, 75 days to pay everything off. And if we don't get it, then we're screwed. And I don't have to get a tattoo on my ass. But
I'm going to send you a check.
What's that, Johnny?
I'm going to send you a check. I want to see that tattoo on your ass.
I'll send you the fucking link to where you can just donate it. All right. But yeah, that is, and yes, Dee Dee will be filming the tattoo on my ass. We're going to live stream it on Twitch. We're going to live stream it on Facebook and everywhere else. But I'm not worried because, E-Rock keeps saying, "Oh, don't worry, just don't worry about it. We're going to get it. We don't got it." So
just have faith, man. You see, it'll work out. Just have faith.
I'm worried about getting a fucking tattoo of the shittiest band that has ever lived.
Jimmy, I thought you were moonwalking just then.
What's that, Karina?
You know, Jimmy, as you moved across the screen, I thought you were moonwalking.
Oh no, no, no! I was
Like you were
actually
going
plugging the
backwards, I was
phone
like,
into the charger. I had
I
to.
thought,
Phone
he,
was
I, thought,
outside.
I thought he was going to get up and just moon us.
You know what I said at the award ceremony? I will stand up in front of everybody and I will drop trowel and show yes, I got the fucking tattoo of Nirvana because they raised $10,000.
Wow, that's
Hey,
dedication.
You should do a video about this and I'll share
I'm
it.
trying to say, both me and E-Rock are trying to say, and I got the kit here, and I got brand new in the package tattoo needles. I got brand new ink. Let me do it for you.
Oh, there we go.
Because I lost, you know, when I mean, I'm December, I'll be 53. So any shame that I ever had, I lost when I was in the Army. You know, when you take a shit in toilet and there are no fucking barriers, you don't have any fucking shame or anything, okay? The shit in the middle of a desert and there's nothing around you. You're sitting on a fucking rock to take a shit. Yeah, there's no shame. So I am not embarrassed about anything. I will drop trowel in the middle of the fucking show and show that I got a Nirvana on my app. But we got
Literally.
Yes, literally.
Dee Dee says nothing embarrasses him, and she's right. I've known her since 1985. So yeah, she knows. That's my high school girlfriend right there. She knows. I oh, shit.
You should share a video and actually say if we can raise up to like this amount, I'll share it for you.
Oh,
whether we can-
we'll post it. We'll share it.
Oh yeah, that shit will be all over. Like
Seriously, you
plastered
you
everywhere.
give me a video and I'll put it up on the Roseberry TV thing and we'll get it viral.
Hell
I
yeah.
was just saying it'll become viral. Yeah.
Oh,
There you
dude,
go.
People will pay to see that.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, they
We'll put it in
will.
our newsletter as well. We'll
That
say
dude
that
got
this
the
guy's going
Nirvana
to get
smiley
a
face on his
tattoo
ass.
of Nirvana on his ass.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure they will put some money on.
We'll also be
Just to watch
recording singing karaoke because we're all going to get together and sing karaoke.
Yeah.
If we decide, but we gotta get the money going. We gotta get this shit going because you know it's coming up January 8th and we need the money to get the awards done, to pay for the venue, to pay the bands that will be playing. We got to get the money. So, you know,
Send us the link. Send us the link.
links. We'll share it.
All right, yeah. Hold on, let me pull that up here real quick.
I've got to find a way to attend this thing.
I'll call off work for it. So
It'll be cold as fuck in January too.
But you see, when it goes viral, when he's getting that tattoo, we got to label it as this is one diehard fan to Nirvana, and leave it at that.
We'll get branded as the best Nirvana fan.
Yeah, we just got to leave it at that.
If you look on Twitch, I just shared the event page. And
Okay.
if you go to the event page, you will see where the donate button is. It tells you where it is and where to donate. It's in Hobart, Indiana, on January 8th, and we're going to start probably around 6 o'clock. We want to have 5 bands play. We're just gonna have a lot of fun. It's just gonna be a shit ton of fun. It's our very first. I've been on air for, like I said, 11 and a half years. We've never had an award ceremony like this, but I think it's time for us to get this together and help, you know, like you guys and all the other up and coming bands. We got band of the year, video, guitar, vocalist, bass, drummer. We have all types of.
That's sick, man. That's
Oh.
fucking awesome.
That is badass.
I agree. It's pretty fucking cool.
And then we
Yeah.
have, not only do we have that, then we have international band, international video, album of the year, national and
National
international song of the year. We have all that. And what we're doing is Tuesday, I told everybody that I want to have a meeting with all the DJs so we can see. I want to see where the direction of everybody's going. You know, I want to see what's going on with, their thought process and what songs, what bands, what vocals they're heading to. Because I get all the emails and then I send them out to all the DJs. So I want to see where they're heading, what and how they're thinking about nominating these bands. So we're gonna
Awesome. Awesome. I'll bring it out Saturday on my radio show, Johnny's Rock Corner.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Good idea.
I sent a link to you guys through your Facebook Messenger, so
Okay,
that way you
awesome.
can just check it out and roll with it from there.
Yeah.
Awesome,
we'll do.
awesome.
We'll do
Looks
some
like
sharing
Iraq's got a girlfriend.
and
Fuck yeah, Sexy Lexi's my girl. We're setting up another dead night. Fuck yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to share it, if you guys want to try and get people to donate for it,
Yeah.
I want it every year. And now all the money that goes into the account, if there's anything left over after this year, it'll just be carried over to the next year.
Cool.
We're not taking any money out of it. It's all staying in there. There are everybody that works at Asgard. We all do this for free because we all believe in helping all these bands. All
Right.
these guys that have these talents that get up on stage and do this all the time. And so the money's going to stay in there until next year, and we'll have the second annual, the third annual, and hopefully we'll be able to do this until, I don't know, fucking I get old and die.
That's cool. That's really
Fuck,
cool.
you're already old.
I am old, I know.
He's
Fuck,
so
I'm a-
fucking old, he lost all his hair.
Yeah, what is it? 3 months, 4 months, I'm going to be 53? Jesus Christ. Wow,
You're
what the hell?
still a kid, man. Eric and I were the oldest one here.
Yeah.
I'm
The
40.
guy, oh, sweetheart, you're still in diapers.
I don't know. I'm 41 in
Yeah,
October.
you guys,
I'm 41 in October.
you guys are talking about, okay, well, we're sending this song through the internet. My days, we sent the song through smoke signals. Okay? In my days, we fucking had 8-track tapes. You guys know what that is?
Oh,
I
yeah.
do. I remember
Yeah.
that. Do you remember DAT tapes?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
DAT tapes. Oh my god. Analog studios.
I have
Hey, my parents had Foghat Live on and a couple UFO albums on 8-track. So I grew
Oh,
up.
UFO
Yeah.
kicks ass. I saw him in Orlando, Florida. They kicked ass. Oh,
Awesome.
God. It was really awesome.
You talking about these things?
What's that? What'd you say?
He's got one there. I don't know who it was, but yeah.
I love it. And it's great the youngest one in the fucking group's got a goddamn 8-track. It's fucking crazy.
He just pulled.
Reach over and pull it off the show.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's how he DJs is on Asgard Radio. He doesn't use the internet. He throws in the 8-tracks.
Best.
No. You want to see?
Where
Oh,
you
fuck.
at?
Here we go.
Here we go.
He's got it.
Let's got it.
That's Asgard Radio Saturday night.
Right there. Ah, yes.
Vibes.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, man. Old 45s.
Old school, man.
Man, that's, yeah.
That's awesome as shit.
Yeah. My first 45 was a Ram Jam, Black Betty.
Dude, I think I got at least 555.
And in high school, I was the shit because I had an 8-track tape player in my car.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
This is definitely a throwback Thursday conversation. Damn.
This
It
is
really is. Yeah.
badass. It is badass. So, yeah. Well, guys, wait a minute, real quick. Karina, we're going to do our interviews later, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right, honey. Well, I'm going to, yeah, I got to pour me some more drinks so to get ready for the interview. Guys, I'll say, hey, don't forget Saturday, the new release from Teacher's Pet. The video is going to be released, Rough and Rude.
Rough and Rude.
I'll see you guys on the show on Saturday.
Sounds great.
Cheers.
All right.
All right, man.
Guys. You guys take care. Eric, I'll talk to you soon, bro.
All right, man.
I'm going to be broadcasting from Classic Rock Cafe. So let me know when you're in air.
All right, will do.
I'm going to be drunker than a two-pecker Billy Goat. So, peace. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Love you.
Cheers.
Peace, brother.
Later, dude.
Peace, guys. Later, guys. How the fuck I get out of here? Oh, okay.
Happens to me every time.
I got it.
Goodbyes and it's like.
Now the cool thing is too, with him doing it on Saturday and the new release of the video and the song, Chronic Chris is going to be playing it on Asgard Radio that night. As he's also going to be on Twitch, he said he's going to be playing the video while he's on Twitch. So there you go. So it's going to be a double whammy. Make sure you guys tune into Chronic Chris 710 on Twitch.com Saturday night for that madness. So
you can send me like the links for all this stuff, like because I don't have a Twitch account.
Yeah.
For like,
geez, you're fired, dude. I'm firing everybody. What the hell?
Twice in one night, man.
Damn.
Yeah,
Shit.
do you know what's really funny? You know, I was talking to all the bands that are on our label. It's really funny because they're like, "What's that? What's StreamYard? What's Twitch? What's Zoom?" And it's really funny because now they've learned all these like different like streaming programs that a lot of radio stations use. It's so funny because some of them are like, "Damn, I've not got any space on my phone." It's really funny. They've got so many like media stuff on their phone. It's hilarious. Dave's sitting there going, they're trying to delete loads of stuff.
Look, I gotta go. I gotta finish up dinner with the youngins. But thank you guys. I appreciate the time and the chit chat with everybody. This has been really cool.
Hell yeah.
It's dinner time, man.
Hell yeah. I got to fix my
camera.
camera. I don't know what happened to my camera, so I got to fix that real fast because.
Yeah, speaking of that, I've got to walk over to Aldi and pick up some stuff too.
There you go.
All right, you guys go do what you got to do. We're going to be on for another couple hours with Throwback Thursday. If you guys want to just, hang out, listen in. Karina, I know it's late over there. You're probably about time to go to bed over there. But
midnight. We've got another interview to do, so we've got to do that after this one. So, so we'll have a bit of a break, guys, and then we'll come back to it.
I'm coming, sweetie. I'll be right there. Okay. Yeah. Hey, thank you, guys. It was a pleasure meeting.
All right, take care, man. Thanks for coming on the show, brother.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Well, we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks so much for having me on, dude.
Hell
Cheers.
yeah. Hell yeah.
I gotta go to the store and get food and cook.
All right then.
All right, folks.
Bye.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye bye.